Finally, a G-Shock that doesn't feel like a brick on your wrist. It is slimmer, it is tougher, it's got Bluetooth, solar power, and a dial straight out of Cyberpunk 2077. Today I'm showing you why this might be the ultimate G-Shock for small wrists, and why I had to import mine from Japan. You know what they say, no collection is complete without a G-Shock, and I totally agree with that. But for a long time, I just couldn't find the right one for me. See, I have always admired Casio's G-Steel lineup, the metal over resin builds, the rugged futuristic look, and that bomb-proof reputation for reliability. But every time I tried one on, it was just too big, too bulky. They felt like they were built for a mech pilot, not a guy with a 6.5-inch wrist like me. So when I saw this one pop up, I had a real love at first sight moment. Slimmer, more compact, still had that bold G-Steel vibe. I knew right away I had to get one, even if it meant digging around eBay to import the Japanese model. And I'm so glad I did, because in this video, I am going to walk you through why this might be the perfect G-Shock for smaller wrists. And honestly, for anyone who wants something rugged, futuristic, and packed with features, but without the usual G-Shock bulk, this is it. So let's get into it. Okay, so the dial. Let's talk about the dial, because this is where this watch really comes to its own. You're greeted with this dark, steely gray dial that feels straight out of a sci-fi video game. Seriously, the entire design screams industrial toughness, but with this refined high-tech edge. It is masculine without being aggressive, rugged but still sleek. You've got these bold applied hour markers that have sort of rough brushed metallic texture to them. They don't reflect light like polished markers would. Instead, they soak in. The light gives off a gritty mechanical feel, like they were milled out of a titanium in some cyber lab. Across the center of the dial, you've got these two horizontal brushed metal bars that breaks up the space perfectly. They look like rails or beams across the steel structure, tying in with the whole architecture of the case. It's such a clever touch, subtle but incredibly effective in reinforcing that urban futuristic aesthetic. Now let's talk hands. The analog hands here are thick and blocky, almost like mini structural beams themselves. The hour and minute hands are generously loomed and shaped in that classic G-Shock angular style. Nothing ornate or delicate here, just pure function. They glow with Casio's Neo Bright coating, and with the lights out, this thing doesn't disappoint. But what I love the most is how the digital part of the display is integrated. You get this small rectangular screen nestled down at the bottom of the dial. It is monochrome, super clear, and displays your digital time, date, stopwatch, timer, alarms, world time. Basically, it's a mini command center. There is also a small second readout that ticks away digitally. And get this, if analog hands are in your way, you can shift them out of the way with the hand shift feature. It's such a slick move. But it doesn't stop there. You have got 4 pushers, each controlling different features. Top right gives you the super LED light. It is bright to light up the entire room. Top left is your adjust button. Long press it and you're into full control mode. You can tweak just about every setting in this watch, either through the buttons or more easily through your phone. We will get into the tech stuff in a minute, but just looking at this dial, this thing is not just tough, it's smart. Everything is laid out with a purpose. It is a tactical dashboard, not just a watch face. Okay, now under the hood, or more accurately behind the screen, you have got Casio's tough solar movement, and honestly, it's a marvel of efficiency. You never have to worry about changing a battery ever. The solar panel is hidden beneath the dial, and even with the low light, keeps it topped off. Fully charged, it can run up to 7 months without any sunlight, or up to 18 months if it goes into power saving mode. That's wild. You could literally toss this thing in a drawer for over a year and it would still come back to life, ready to go. That's kind of reliability I love from Casio. You're not babysitting this watch, you're just wearing it. Now in terms of timekeeping, it is rated at plus minus 15 seconds per month without the Bluetooth connection, which is already pretty solid. But once you connect it to your phone via Casio Watches app, the watch auto syncs its time to your phone every day. That means it is essentially accurate down to the second without you having to do a thing. But let's go deeper. This isn't just a watch that tells time, it's practically a little wrist computer. Let's say you are a traveler or someone who works across time zones. The world time function here supports 38 cities plus UTC, and switching between your local and world time is as easy as pressing a button. And again, even easier from the app. The stopwatch is classic 1 second chronograph with lap and split times. Pretty standard on paper, but super handy if you're timing workouts or anything around the house. And then there is a countdown timer, adjustable all the way from 1 second up to 60 minutes. Great for cooking, meditation, work breaks, whatever. It's amazing how often I use it without even realizing it. 5 alarms, an hourly chime round out the everyday utility. That's more alarms than most people have reasons for, but it's nice to know you can set a different one for each kind of reminder. Wake up, gym, meds, check the oven, pick up the kids, whatever your day looks like. Then there is the phone finder feature, which honestly I use more than I should probably admit. Long press the bottom right button and boom, your phone rings even if it's on silent mode. If you ever lost your phone between the couch cushions, this alone is worth the price of admission. Another underrated feature is the mute button sounds option. Sometimes you want to use all the features without the beeps, especially if you're in a meeting or a movie or just trying to be subtle. Through the app, you can toggle those sounds off completely. You can also control the LED backlight duration, choose between 1.5 or 3 seconds. Pick between 12 or 24-hour time format and even change the language for the day display. Little things like that show just how much control you have over this watch's personality. And speaking of the display, the digital screen is incredibly sharp. It's not colorful or flashy, but it's crisp, contrasty, and easy to read in any lighting. Plus, the double LED light setup means both the analog dial and the digital dial lit up independently. Super useful if you're checking the time in dark. Honestly, what blows me away is how integrated all these features are. It doesn't feel clunky or menu heavy like some smartwatches. Everything has a purpose and everything works seamlessly. And because it's not a full-blown smartwatch, you don't have to charge it every night or deal with constant software updates. I think this watch is done right, the kind that works in the background, not one that nags for your attention. It's kind of a watch you can depend on for years without single hiccup. Now, talking about the case, finally it fits. This is where this really surprised me. It's slimmest G-Steel made ever, just 11.4mm thick. That's incredibly thin for a G-Shock, especially one with metal components. The case dimensions are 42.3mm wide and 41.4mm tall, and that's because of the short lug-to-lug and integrated bracelet design. It wears smaller than it sounds. On my 6.5-inch wrist, it fits like a dream. The case construction is this hybrid of stainless steel and resin. The top bezel is brushed steel secured with 4 exposed screws, which adds to that rugged bolt-on industrial look. The middle case is black resin, giving it both shock resistant and lightweight feel. The bracelet stainless steel as well, with the solid links and one touch 3-fold clasp. Now I'll be honest, it doesn't feel premium like some high-end bracelet or anything. There is a slight hollowness to it, and the clasp could use a bit more refinement, but for your daily wear it's comfortable. It doesn't pitch, doesn't dig in, and it feels sturdy enough for everyday knocks and bumps. Also, shout out to Casio for finally giving us a G-Steel that isn't a wrist monster. This thing has presence, but it's compact, wearable, and stylish in a way G-Shock usually aren't. It even gives off a little Royal Oak vibe with the way bezel and screws are arranged. I've had actual compliments wearing this, even from my wife, which never happens. So yeah, this one stands out. So who is this watch for? If you have always wanted a G-Shock but felt they were too chunky or too plasticky or just too much, this is the one to try. It's perfect for smaller wrists. It's loaded with smart features. It looks tough, futuristic, and stylish all at once. You could wear this to the gym or to the dinner and it will still look right. It's not a dress watch by any means, but honestly, it makes more of a statement than some watches way more expensive than this. And with the solar power, the Bluetooth smarts, and that classic G-Shock toughness, it's kind of a watch you can just put on and forget until someone compliments it. If you're building out your collection and looking for something practical, rugged, but also fun to wear, this GST B600D is an absolute sleeper hit. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.